new weekly vlog. I will share what I have been working on these past 2 weeks, which include the king sheep. You have seen him in the previous vlog. He was completed and finished last week, and I have also worked on another sheep. You can see him here. I'm going to show you. This is another sheep of the court of the king sheep, all inspired by this fairy tale, The Ram by Madame Nolnois, which was written at the end of the 17th century. So I'm going to share that with you in this one. I will also show you a little update on my flowers, on little gardening projects. I didn't do much. We had a really dark and gloomy spring so far. Today I think it's one of the very first sunny day we had for a very long time. So really happy about that. So my flowers are pretty late. All the seeds I planted are really late, you're going to see. But I'm going to show you. And I also have some seeds I had forgotten I had, which surprised me. So they are, I don't know even what sort of flowers they are, but they look really pretty. But it's all making good progress. So I'm happy because I'm a little more hidden when my vine is covering the balcony, or that it makes a bit more, gives a bit more privacy. So I'm really happy about that. I wanted first to say that on May 31st I have 2 workshops which are currently open, which are going to close for good. There will be no possibility to enroll in these 2 workshops much later this year, next year, whenever. They are going to close forever. It's the elephant doll and the costumes workshop. They were open for quite some time now, so I just thought it's time to close them now. They have been open, people had a chance to join these 2 adventures. I think they were really fun, and they are probably, the elephant doll would be probably my favorite workshop I have filmed and done so far, because you are creating something which is almost getting alive as you are doing it, which is really fun. It's a bit like if you were Geppetto in Pinocchio, something like that. And I thought it was really fun. So if you want to enroll before these 2 workshops close completely, you can do it before May 31st. You still have access to the content after that. You could still ask me your questions after that. It doesn't change anything at all for your own experience of them. It's just that they are going to close and they will disappear from the outside of the website. So people who are visiting my website for the first time, my workshops website, learnthemagicofpaper.com, will not have the possibility to see them. So if you think you wanted to do them, just know that you have till May 31st to join these 2 adventures. For these past 2 weeks, I have continued to work on the Ram, which is a fairy tale I think is really nice. And I have created the king sheep, which has been finished last week at the beginning of the week. You're going to see the last details, the making of the little miniatures, the little paintings of his costume and the finishes. And I have also finished another sheep from his court. It's a sheep who is bringing some strawberries and some jam confiture, and it's one of the sheep who, instead of eating the grass, is eating some delicious thing.
Comme l'on était dans la plus belle saison de l'année, lorsque Merveilleuse arriva dans ces beaux lieux, elle ne vit point d'autre palais qu'une longue suite d'orangers, de jasmins, de chèvrefeuilles et de petites roses muscades dont les branches entrelacées les unes dans les autres formaient des cabinets, des salles et des chambres toutes meublées de gaze d'or et d'argent, avec de grands miroirs, des lustres et des tableaux admirables. Le maître mouton dit à la princesse qu'elle était souveraine dans ces lieux, que depuis quelques années il y avait eu des sujets sensibles de s'affliger et de répandre des larmes, mais qu'il ne tiendrait qu'à elle de lui faire oublier ses malheurs. « La manière dont vous en usez, charmant mouton, lui dit-elle, a quelque chose de si généreux, et tout ce que je vois ici me paraît si extraordinaire que je ne sais qu'en juger. » Le roi mouton avait tout l'esprit et toute la délicatesse qui pouvaient former d'agréables conversations. Il aimait si passionnément Merveilleuse qu'elle vint aussi à le considérer et ensuite à l'aimer. Un joli mouton bien doux, bien caressant ne laisse pas de plaire, surtout quand on sait qu'il est roi et que la métamorphose doit finir. This morning I'm going to continue my strawberries, so it's one of the delicious things our sheep are eating. They are not eating grass, they are eating really delicious things. Sorbet, confiture, we'll have a nice confiture here. I'm going to probably do some strawberries, confiture, and we have our strawberries here with some cream, and maybe we'll have a coffee pot because they are also drinking coffee. So that's what I'm working on this morning, and I'm going to finish her costume. I've already prepared most of the paper, and I'm going to finish it completely now and finish the grass here, which is not totally finished. So that's my program for this morning and this afternoon.
things about the oranges. You can see on my ram, the king sheep, there are many oranges. He's standing on orange blossoms, and the orange trees, orange blossoms appear quite many times in this fairy tale, the ram, and there is a reason for that. It appears in many other fairy tales by Madame d'Aulnoy. The yellow dwarf is living under an orange tree. There is another fairy tale called The Orange Tree and the Bee, and it's a character prince who is going to be turned into an orange tree. A little like a Greek legend. I didn't remember which one, but there is a legend where there is a character who is turned into a tree. So there is a reason for that, and that's something I adore. This is probably the reason why I adore her fairy tales so much. It's there is beautiful imagination, she has great ideas, she writes really, really well. I adore her style and her ideas. But if you're a historian, if you love history, if you love traveling in time, you can notice tons of references to her century, to Versailles, to Louis XIV, to fashion, to details of clothing, to orange trees, which was something very special in the 17th century, all that. So that's something I really like. I really like to see all these little details, which most people will not see, but if you are a bit familiar with that, you will see all the references. And orange trees was something extremely popular in the 17th century, if you had money, of course. They came from China, and Louis XIV, the king, was crazy about them. He adored them. If you have been in Versailles, maybe you have seen La Galerie des Glaces, very probably. The La Galerie des Glaces, at some moment, it was full of small orange trees, 14 small orange trees, and it smelled orange blossom, which was the favorite smell of Louis XIV. We don't know that these days, we have a bit forgotten that, but he had, of course, l'orangerie with all his big orange trees. If you have seen his gardens, you may have seen that too. And yes, it was extremely popular. If you died, you had some orange tree, it would appear in the document showing all your belongings, all your precious things, all you think you had, furniture, home, all that, and you would have the orange trees appearing in these documents. And I think it's very, very interesting. It really showed the passion people had for orange trees. So I just thought it was interesting that Madame d'Aulnoy picked up this detail and she use it in many of her stories. And I've read that actually, all this thing about orange in this excellent book. I mentioned it many times, I think at least once. It's written by Hélène de Lalex, who is an art historian. She's attachée de conservation au Château de Versailles. She works at Versailles, and all her books are excellent. She always found these nice, interesting details, interesting side of the history, which makes it so interesting. She wrote many books about Marie Antoinette. This one is about Louis XIV, and there are many pages about orange tree, the passion for orange blossom smell, all that, and many other interesting things. It may not be available in English, I'm not sure, but I like to have it also in my collection of very, very inspiring books. Just like to open them and read sometimes, just the text. I've read it already, but I like to come back to it sometimes and find inspiration there. And that's where I found the reference to orange trees and orange blossom and oranges. So here there is different miniatures on his costume. There is, of course, the orange tree castle. There is two ships who have been turned, well, prince, of course, prince and princess, who have been turned into ships by La Ferragotte. There is the pumpkin and the goats, which arrived there before Cinderella. It's not the same story. Nothing was really settled at this time, so she used this in this fairy tale. She doesn't use it in her version of Cinderella, actually, but she used it in this fairy tale. La Ferragotte, the nasty, the naughty fairy La Ferragotte. The deer, because the sheep, before being turned into a sheep, was hunting a deer. And then we have some other sheep. That's the little miniatures of his costume. And this sheep is the second of inspired by this fairy tale. So I made some strawberries, of course, because she's holding some strawberries. She has some confiture here. She doesn't have some miniatures, this one, but she's a bit smaller too, but she still has the little pavilion inspired a bit by the one the king sheep has. Thank you very much for watching this vlog. So my two ships are both available on my Etsy shop. You can find the link just below this video if you might be interested in them. Also wanted to remind you that if you wanted to join the paper costumes workshop or the elephant doll, there are two, both are closing their doors on May 31st, but you keep your access to the content after that, and you can still ask me your questions. It doesn't change anything for you, so just wanted to tell you that. that on May 31st, 2019. They both close. For now, I will leave you here. I will go back to my characters working on other fairy tale characters. I'm going to share that in the next videos. I wish you a beautiful day for now. Thank you very much for your encouragement, your kindness, and your sweet messages. And I hope to see you very soon. You can give a thumb up if you like this video, and you can subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss the next videos. I will see you soon. C'est pas l'heure de jouer. C'est pas l'heure de jouer, Cloche, alors t'attends un peu.